Hey everyone, I'm Julie Wild, and living in Bali means that every 60 days you have to leave the country on what's called a visa run. We've done it plenty of times in places like Vietnam and the Philippines, but we decided it would be fun to check a new country off our list and go to Malaysia for the first time. As it turned out though, we had planned this trip right as the corona outbreak was happening that we didn't know about, so our trip didn't quite go as planned. It started off like any other trip for us, buying an extremely cheap airline flight, and then once we landed we realized that the bills we'd pulled out from the ATM were actually too big to even buy a bus ticket, so we had to split it by buying a Kit Kat in the little mini mart, and then when we got on the bus we realized that it wasn't even taking us where we thought we were supposed to go, and there was quite a big language barrier, so we ended up driving through fields and fields of palm groves when we'd only been trying to get to the other side of the airport for a shuttle. We eventually got off of that bus and then onto another train where people were loosely pointing us in the right direction, and then that train did take us into town. We had some preloaded maps on our phones to help us get to the little room that we had booked in a hotel in Chinatown. I remember one of my first impressions of the city was that it was definitely not set up for pedestrians, and a lot of the sidewalks had been turned into construction zones. Our first order of business was to try and get one of our Canon camera lenses fixed at one of the big malls. That was one of the primary reasons why we had come to Kuala Lumpur, because in Bali there are no shops that are qualified to fix the type of camera lens that we have. I was completely shocked by the size of this mall, but I knew that somewhere in here was a camera store that was able to fix our type of lens. I specifically booked us in Chinatown right next to this mall so that we could easily get there because I knew we wouldn't have any other form of transport. I remember seeing nets like this for the first time in Thailand and having employees tell me that they were to keep people from trying to kill themselves. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me they look like big trampolines. We ended up finding an entire amusement park built inside of this mall, complete with its very own roller coaster. I was a little shook, to be honest. Another thing that was very strange to me in these malls was how all of the food stalls had these big displays of plastic fruit and vegetables up front, also wrapped in plastic, usually in plastic boxes, because, you know, we don't have enough plastic in this world as it is. Then we found the movie theater and we decided to watch Birds of Prey. And now we're having an authentic Malaysian meal at, where are we? At Pizza Hut. We're at Pizza Hut right now. Also, during the movie I got this very sweet note. Someone wants to know where my shoes are from. And they wrote me a note and gave it to me in the middle of the movie. So it is our first morning here. We're just having breakfast at like noon. We were meant to meet our friend here. Now we can't find him, but we did see a lot of like younger white folks, so I trust the food. And this is the tail end of Ricky's credit card, which got like hacked this morning and we had to cancel. So, okay, I lied. We did find the friend and he's alive. Apparently he went out partying. Last time we met him, his hand was broken, but he's still here. Right now we're walking in these painted alleyways. I'm not really sure why this is here, but we have our whole little group today, and it is very hot, like really, really hot. It's a very big, very noisy, dirty city. Lots of McDonald's and Starbuckses and things. We're about to go in here, trying to find some air conditioning. Like you big
avoid sharing food and drink.
Billboards.
Wear a face mask.
No, I didn't. I haven't. Ricky, are you scared?
So scared.
So scared? We are doing safari jungle. It's meant to be really hard. We were given the option to dress up, so of course we claimed the bunny ears and the Viking helmet. I'm not really sure what Ricky was wearing. You're not really supposed to film the inside of escape rooms, but this was me climbing through a secret passageway in the wall to get to another room where there were magnets and a whole lot of really fun puzzles. The maze actually ended up being a lot of fun, and we made it out in just under an hour, which ranked us 3rd place on the weekly score chart. We got beat by these people because they had the lucky cowboy hat, but overall, not too shabby. Since there are no scooters in Kuala Lumpur, you end up walking a lot more, but it's okay because there's some pretty nice places like this. So we're reusing our plastic mango Tupperwares as our food takeout containers for the week. And this is pretty much our plan, is to stay in our little room and edit and sort all of our footage and make some videos and hopefully get a lot of work done this week so we're not distracted with all of our normal friends in Bali. So, what's the story, fam? What's going on right now?
Bali, before they close the borders.
Yeah.
Bali, all of us.
Bali. So what apparently has just happened, my dad just let us know that there has been one confirmed death from coronavirus in Bali, which means that they are now considering closing their borders to all travelers, because the Philippines has now closed its borders, Indonesia has closed its borders now to people from Italy, Iran, and China, a couple other places, and they might just be shutting it down all the way soon, which means we could get trapped here in Kuala Lumpur where we only have like one pair of pants and none of our friends, and we don't want to be stuck here. So even though we've paid for our hotel for like a week, and we already have our flight out in like a week, we don't want to wait that long because they could close it in the next couple of days. So we're trying to kidnap her and make her come to Bali for the first time. We're trying to kidnap Tony, make him come. And then hopefully we'll all get quarantined in Bali and just live in paradise forever. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Due to Bali potentially closing its borders soon, we've actually decided all three of us are booking a ticket out tomorrow, basically. So we only have one day now left to shoot, which is why I'm in the dress. Which means we're about to go take some fucking pictures at the main towers here.
Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers of Asia. Let's go hug the panda. No?
Hi, Panda.
Oh, it's so scary. Oh my god. Are you dead yet? Are we dying? We have heat stroke?
Maybe.
Oh wow. These are tall. So I think the picture spot is probably back there where all those other people are standing. But in the meantime, check out how cool this building is. It's like covered in plants. This building should be more famous. Stella's first photo.
Beautiful.
Got some pictures. You got it. You did it. Maybe we should stay at the Corona Inn. What do you guys think? We're on our way to the grocery store right now, but looks pretty prime. So what's happening right now?
This is the way that it goes, dear. Everything becomes so
okay.
clear.
I'm living in a musical.
That you say.
Ricky, what's happening right now?
This is the
No,
way that
stop.
it goes,
Stop
dear.
singing. Okay. Well, Ricky's singing and he can't run because his foot's like fucking broken right now. So what's actually happening right now is that we have our emergency ticket out of Bali early in the morning because we've heard that the government might be closing the borders, so we need to get back in so that if borders get closed, we're stuck on the right side. No, you leave me alone. The point is, because we're leaving early in the morning, we are getting food from the grocery store by our house and taking our last walk in this city before we have to leave. The situation in America had just started getting crazy, watching videos of people stockpiling and hoarding toilet paper on the news, so it was interesting to walk around Kuala Lumpur and see that there was generally no panic. A couple of people were wearing masks, but the grocery stores were still fully stocked and there didn't seem to be any shortages.
I'd be falling, but I'll hold you tight. We love each other for the hell of it. And all our fears would be irrelevant. And if the world was ending, you come over right. You come over, you come over, you come over right.
Very, very early morning. Here's our room. Gotta go. Bye, room. Okay, so we decided to get a taxi to take us to the airport because now we're splitting it. So everything is cheaper. And the train, it just would have been too hard this morning to take a train and a bus and another train to get here. So we have arrived at the airport. We've just made an important discovery. There is a Krispy Kreme donut factory in the airport. This is Stella's very first Krispy Kreme donut. First one ever. Hasn't seen them. Very strange concept. What do you think? She gonna like it?
She's gonna love it.
Okay. You may pick. Here it goes. I mean, she's also German though, so she has like very high expectations for things.
It's good.
She likes the airport donut. While we waited for our flight gate to open, I started editing the photos we'd taken at the Twin Towers the day before, and Ricky filled up our Grail water bottle. It removes and filters viruses, bacteria, and protozoa, including E. coli, salmonella, and hepatitis A, along with all heavy metals like lead, arsenic, and chlorine, which means that no matter where we are in the world, we can drink directly from the tap and never have to buy single-use plastic water bottles ever again. Even though people are guaranteed to stare and think you're a little bit of a weirdo, I love doing a little bit of acro yoga right before we get on the plane, just to get the blood moving and stretch out a little bit before you're stuck in those teeny tiny little seats. It was kind of crazy getting on the plane and realizing that we were some of the only people on the flight, but honestly we were just happy that we were making it back to Bali and that we were going to be home for whatever this next chapter was. It was crazy landing back in Bali and seeing all the health workers screening people for the virus. We had to fill out these little health forms that basically said, are you sick? Check the box yes or no. And of course we weren't sick, but anyways, we helped Stella fill out her first visa paperwork and then we were home.